Hi Leeway fans, Joshua Merritt here. I am happy to host this series of 3 videos. I am going to work with diagrams instead of animated videos because sometimes it is easier to explain or show features in a static frame. Here we can see the Leeway field with its rectangular shape measuring about 80 by 120 yards, and its 5 yards, 15 yards and midfield lines. 13 players, including 1 goalkeeper in each team, played with an age-appropriate ball with our feet. Duration of match 80 minutes divided into 2 half times of 40 minutes, with a half match break. 2 goalposts with an official size 6 inches wider and taller than those of football soccer. But many teams do use football posts. There are 3 referees, 1 central and 2 sideline referees. Plus, each team should have at least 1 coach and 1 sideline assistant that together with referees will manage substitutions and timeouts as requested by coaches. Last, there is a corner red flag on each corner of the field. As you can see, this is a very simple, unique, and each of its lines has 1 or multiple uses. Outfield players must use shin protection and goalkeepers knee and elbow pads and gloves. Typically, there are 6 substitution players, of which 1 should be a goalkeeper. This diagram shows how the forward rule works. When the ball is on the midfield line, like in the kickoff, or every time it crosses the midfield line, it can never be sent voluntarily towards the defense field. If it happens accidentally, such as a divided or second ball, the referee will let the game go on. When the forward rule is broken, the possession of ball is reverted to the opponent with a reverted possession of ball kick. This rule exists to prevent teams from delaying or slowing the game or avoiding interaction with the opponent. This rule is in effect throughout the whole match. The reverted possession of the ball kick is shown here. The ball is placed by the sideline next to the midfield line, either on the defense or attack field. The side is chosen by the team who will kick the reverted possession of the ball kick. Again, the forward rule is always in effect. This diagram shows the kickoff. It is used in many situations to start a match at the beginning of the second half every time a goal is scored. Also, if there is an overtime in cases where there cannot happen a tied match. The yellow team is starting with the ball behind the midfield line. The black team, the opponent, must stay behind the 15-yard of its defense field. Again, the ball must always be kicked forward and never toward the defense field. The front kick is used every time the attacking team send the ball outbound through the goal line. The team put the ball back in game by placing it anywhere inside the 5-yard area, not rolling and kicking it, so that it crosses the 15-yard line to be considered in-game. If, for any reason, the ball does not cross the 15-yard line, the frontal kick will need to be repeated until it does. The reason for that is to prevent teams from making a short ball kick and not really putting the ball in contention. As you can see, every rule has a very specific reason to be the way it is. Nothing is by chance. The frontal kick can be kicked by the goalkeeper or an outfield player. And again, the ball, like in all stationary kicks, must not be rolling, does not require referee authorization, must be kicked within 15 seconds after being set in place. The only stationary kicks that always require referee authorization are the major penalty kick and the direct kick with or without man barrier. The corner kick is shown in this diagram. It happens every time a player put the ball outbound, voluntarily or not, through the goal line of its own defense field. The ball must be placed, not rolling, next to the corner flag and kicked by the team putting the ball in game. In this case, it is always the team in its attack field. It does not require referee authorization, but like in any stationary kick, the referee may request it to be held for a reason deemed important by the referee, such as an injured player, a substitution, an ongoing infraction, to name a few. It can be kicked in any direction, except that it cannot cross the midfield line towards the defense field because the forward rule. Here we have simple and clear the side kick in. This type of kick is used to put the ball back in game after it goes outbound by the sidelines. Leeway adopted to kick the ball instead of throwing it with 2 hands because kicking is much more effective, and this way actually rewards the team which has the right to put the ball in game. The player simply must put the ball on the sideline or next to it. It must not be rolling at all, and kick the ball. Again, this stationary kick, like most of them, do not require referee authorization because the opponent is assumed to be ready. The team has 15 seconds to execute to kick after the ball is put in position, or the kick will be reverted to the opponent team. In this case here, it is a side kick in from the defense field, and the ball can be kicked toward any direction. Here we have the side kick in on the offensive field. In this case, this is where the ball went outbound through the sideline. Because it is on the offensive field, the ball cannot be sent toward the defense field due to the forward rule. Everything else is exactly the same as in the defense field side kick in. An indirect kick happens every time a player suffers a foul on his or her own defense field. It follows the same rules as for all stationary kicks. Namely, the ball must not be rolling. After it is put in place, the team has 15 seconds to execute the kick and does not require referee authorization. Because it is in the defense field, it can be kicked in any direction and does not require man barrier. Here we have a direct kick. It happens every time a player suffers a foul in the attack field, outside the 15-yard area. If the foul is inside the 15-yard area, the major penalty kick is applied against the team who committed the foul. The ball is placed on the ground, not rolling, and a man barrier may be placed 12 yards from the ball if requested by the goalkeeper. The direct kick and the major penalty kick are the only stationary kicks that always require referee authorization.